News swept through the village like wildfire. A grand football match was coming, one like never before. Two rival villages would face off in a battle of skill and pride, and it was said that the king himself had sent delegates to observe. All the influential men of the land were expected to attend, and the villagers buzzed with excitement. Baba Amara hadn't left his compound for weeks, still grieving the loss of Chika. But he decided this might be a needed escape, for himself and Amara. "Let's go, my daughter," he said one morning. "I don't want to," Amara mumbled. "They'll laugh at me again." "I didn't ask for your opinion," Baba Amara said firmly. "You must go. It will be fun, people shouting, cheering. Life must go on." Reluctantly, Amara agreed. Obianuju, however, was visibly displeased. She hated being seen in public with Amara and her unusually long legs, but she had no choice. When they arrived at the match ground, it was a sight to behold. The village had transformed its dusty open field into a makeshift stadium. Long wooden benches were arranged in rows, colorful banners lined the bamboo fences, and a canopy stood at the center where dignitaries sat. The crowd was thick with excitement. The teams, the Unshakables and the King's Pride, took their positions. Each wore custom-made jerseys. Deep green for the Unshakables, gold and black for the King's Pride. The game began with a blast of the whistle. Amara sat beside her father and Obianuju. Her eyes wandered and locked onto a familiar face. Coach Ben. He was there, cheering passionately for the Unshakables. But he wasn't just watching the game. His eyes were fixed on one player, number 13. "That must be the golden player," Amara whispered. Indeed, number 13, Ibuka, was phenomenal. With his towering height, muscular build, lightning reflexes, and killer aim, he had already scored 3 goals. The crowd roared with every move he made. By the end of the game, the Unshakables triumphed 5-2. The villagers exploded in jubilation. As the crowd dispersed, Amara walked up to Coach Ben. "You came," she said, surprised. Coach Ben smiled. "I told you I would. That's Ibuka, the one I came for. But I also hoped I'd see you again." They chatted briefly before Baba Amara approached. "Papa, this is Coach Ben. I met him the other day on my way to the market." Coach Ben greeted him respectfully. "I'd like to speak with you privately, sir." Baba Amara frowned. "I hope there's no problem." "Not at all," Coach Ben smiled. From a distance, Obianuju watched. Her eyes narrowed, her face twisted with jealousy. "What is that handsome man doing with palm tree legs?" he hissed. A few days later, Coach Ben had finalized the process of recruiting Ibuka into his city-based team. It involved formal documentation, background checks, clearance from Ibuka's family, and payment of a hefty fee to the village sports council. But even with Ibuka's contract settled, something tugged at his mind: Amara. He couldn't shake the image of her long, graceful legs, perfect for basketball. So before leaving for the city, he paid a visit to Baba Amara's home. Baba Amara was stunned to see him again. "You're back," he said, rising to greet him. "Yes, sir," Coach Ben said. "I've come to make a request about Amara." The old man tensed. "I believe Amara has incredible potential. Her height and leg length are rare, assets that can't be taught. I want to train her. I will handle all expenses, her schooling, training, and welfare. I believe she can become one of the greatest female athletes in the country." Baba Amara was quiet for a while. It was unexpected, but something about the coach's sincerity moved him. "I will speak to her," he said at last. Meanwhile, Mama Obianuju had seen the fancy car parked outside and her heart raced with suspicion. She hurried to her husband. "Who came here?" "It's Coach Ben." "He came because of Amara," Baba Amara replied. The words struck her like lightning. "Amara?" she asked, feigning concern. "I hope she hasn't gotten into trouble." "No," Baba chuckled. "He says Amara could be a world-class athlete. That's why he came, to take her to the city." Mama Obianuju's smile vanished. Her heart burned with rage. Her fists clenched. "Over my dead body," she muttered under her breath. "This cannot happen." She paced around restlessly, then marched up to her husband. "So, you want Amara to follow that man to the city?" she asked, her voice trembling. "He is offering her a better future," Baba said. "What nonsense. Is sport for women? Who will help me in the house? Do you even know that man well?" she snapped, masking her envy with concern. But in truth, she wasn't worried about chores or Amara's safety. What terrified her was the thought of Amara, the girl she mocked and belittled, rising to glory. That was something she would never allow. "Enough," Baba Amara said. "Mr. Ben is a coach known by everyone in this village. He was at the field the other day to recruit players into his team. Nothing will happen to Amara. We should all pray he doesn't change his mind. But in the end, it lies with Amara to make the final decision. Please, I want to rest now." Mama Obianuju tried to speak, but he shut her down. "Leave me alone. I feel this is an opportunity for Amara to have a future, and I will not stand in her way, or let anyone else stand in her way." Mama Obianuju was bitter. That night, Baba Amara called Amara and told her everything. She looked at him, tears in her eyes. "Who will take care of you when I'm gone? Don't worry about me," he said. "I will not forgive myself if you waste your life taking care of me. This is your chance, and I want you to take it." Amara nodded. "I want to make you proud and give you a good life. You have to start preparing," he told her. "I will let Coach Ben know that we accept his proposal." When Obianuju heard this, she felt pained and bitter. She ran crying to her mother. "But you told me I was the best. Why is Amara the one going to the city now? People will laugh at me. I'll be useless in this village. Please stop her. Let me be the one to go." "That's enough," her mother said sharply. "Over my dead body will I allow Amara to go to the city." That night, Amara couldn't sleep. Strange and mysterious things were beginning to shift in her life. Her father now stood firmly with her, and the future she once feared was opening its arms. She felt nervous but hopeful. The next day, while everyone expected Mr. Ben, Amara quietly packed her things. Mama Obianuju did not get out of bed. She faked a sickness. "Amara, I am very sick," she moaned. "And Obianuju can't do the house chores alone. What about your father? Think twice." Amara felt bad, but she said nothing. Her father had made it clear she was to go, and she had decided to obey. Later in the day, Coach Ben arrived, with Ibuka in the car. Amara said her goodbyes in tears. She hugged her father tightly, not wanting to let go. "I will make you proud," she whispered. Mrs. Obianuju stood bitter, her plans crumbling. That night, Obianuju unleashed her anger on her mother. "She's gone now. Who will go to the market, the stream, the house chores? Me. God forbid. I'd rather run away." Mama Obianuju said nothing. Amara was already at the palace. There was nothing she could do. Amara, Ibuka, and Coach Ben arrived in the city by evening. Amara had never seen such beauty before. She stared in awe at Coach Ben's mansion. They were welcomed by the maid, Auntie Lulu and Luke. Luke, a fellow footballer under Coach Ben's supervision like Ibuka, stared at Amara. "She's so tall," he muttered to himself, clearly surprised. Coach Ben introduced everyone briefly. "Lulu, show them to their rooms," he said before heading off to sleep. They all ate and settled into their rooms. Amara made sure to call her father that night. The next morning, the three sat at the dining table. Luke couldn't stop looking. Amara was so tall. Ibuka just sat quietly, eager for training. Coach Ben gave them some advice and a strict rule. "Don't touch anything in this house that wasn't given to you." Then they headed out for training. Amara had her own basketball training field. Ibuka played exceptionally well on the football pitch. The others were impressed and began calling him striker. Luke, also talented, complimented him. After the match, a friend invited Luke for a drink. As they sat together, the friend leaned in. That new guy, Ibuka, is taking your place. Aren't you scared? Luke smiled. He's good, yes. But I'm good too. The sky is big enough for all birds to fly without hitting each other. He sipped the last of his drink and stood. Goodbye, buddy, he said, dapping his friend's shoulder. Coach Mike's driver picked up Luke and Ibuka, then went to get Amara. How was training today? Luke asked. I'm not sure, Amara replied. I've never played basketball before. You looked good. With time and effort you'll catch up, he said. Amara smiled. He didn't mock my legs, she thought. He's calm and polite. I think I'll get along with him. Back at the mansion, they all went to rest. Amara took a bath and called her father again. He was doing fine. She was happy. At the village, Baba Amara's voice roared through the compound. Obianuju, he bellowed. Why is this compound like a pig's den? Plates from yesterday still scattered, no water in the house. What exactly do you do here? Obianuju stared blankly, lips pressed together. I'm talking to you, stupid girl, he shouted again. Mama Obianuju rushed over and tried to calm him down, whispering, Please, let me talk to her. But even when she turned to Obianuju, the girl simply looked away, unbothered. Days passed in tension. Far away in the city, Amara was changing. Her training had intensified and more girls had joined the academy, drawn by whispers of the girl with legs like palm trees. Amara, once mocked for her height, was now becoming unstoppable. Her dunks were swift, her dribbles sharp, and her reflexes rivaled the wind. Nobody stands a chance against her, some of the girls murmured, their eyes no longer filled with scorn but with admiration. Amara noticed it but didn't let it swell her pride. Her eyes were fixed on one goal, to be the best. Coach Ben was relentless. Use your height to your advantage, Amara. Protect the ball like it's your baby. And always watch your opponent's hips, not the ball. That's the truth of their movement, he instructed. He drilled them on teamwork, ball control, agility, defense techniques, and mental toughness. Amara began forming new bonds with teammates. Girls who once whispered now passed her water bottles, shared tips, and giggled after training. But Amara didn't stop. While others rested, she stayed behind, practicing her throws in the glow of dusk. She pushed herself, breathing in rhythm, sweat glistening like dew on her forehead. Her skills soared. One evening at dinner, Coach Ben looked up from his meal and said, Amara, I'm impressed by how better you've become every single day. Amara smiled modestly. Thank you, sir. I still have a long way to go. The coach nodded, admiring her humility. He turned to Ibuka. You're doing well too. But Ibuka smirked. I've always done well, sir. Give me a few years and I'll be the best in the world. The air tensed slightly. Amara noticed the pride dripping from his tone. He didn't care how Luke might feel. Or maybe she thought it's just who he is. Coach Ben turned to Luke. How are the other teams performing? Very well, sir, Luke replied calmly. Amara studied Luke quietly. Lately, she had begun to notice he was kind, focused, and strangely handsome. She felt peace around him. In the city, Amara glowed. Her long legs no longer a curse, but a spectacle in her sleek sportswear. She walked into training grounds like a star, and people turned to admire her. Meanwhile, Ibuka was rising too. He had just scored the highest goal in a heated friendly match against a rival academy. He dribbled them like rain slipping off a leaf, one spectator had said. His confidence grew as fast as his fame. One evening, Ibuka invited Amara for dinner. At the table he leaned in and said, You know, like you. Let's take this further. Amara blinked. No, she said softly. Is it because of Luke? He laughed. I'm better than him in all ways. Why would you say something like that? She asked, her voice cool. Luke barely even notices me, she thought to herself. The rest of the ride home was quiet. Back in the village, the compound was in chaos. It only now dawned on Baba Amara that Amara had been the one keeping things together. The chores, the cleaning, the water, she did it all. He exploded. Obianuju, kneel down here now. What exactly is your use in this house? He thundered. Turning to his wife he shouted, Mama Obianuju, this is your doing. You've raised a lazy, disrespectful child. Amara suffered in silence while this one did nothing. He collapsed into a chair, holding his head. And I never even saw it. My daughter went through so much and now she's far away. But she's okay now, he whispered as tears slid down his cheeks. Inside the room, Obianuju was crying and shouting at her mother. I want to leave this house. I want to go to the city, or I'll kill myself. Mama Obianuju stared at her, confused and afraid. Amara's moment had come. Her first official tournament, the Rising Stars basketball showdown, was packed. The crowd gathered like bees to nectar, the energy electric. Amara stepped onto the court like a goddess of the game. Her movements were like art. She ducked, pivoted, leapt, and with one final spin, she landed the winning shot. The crowd erupted. Luke and Ibuka stood up clapping, grinning with pride. Amara waved shyly, her beauty and presence stealing the spotlight. That evening the team celebrated. As people cheered in the background, Luke approached her. You were phenomenal, he said. Amara smiled. Thanks. Then teasingly she added, So, what's my prize? Dinner, he replied instantly. She laughed, caught off guard, but agreed. At the restaurant, it was Luke who drew attention. Girls whispered, took pictures, and even flirted with him. Amara stared, surprised. Luke, however, remained calm. This is why I avoid public places, he said with a shrug. They laughed, talked, and shared a peaceful night. When they returned to the house, Ibuka saw them. His eyes flared. What the hell does she see in that guy, he muttered. He's not even as good as me. The next morning in the village, panic broke out. Obianuju had vanished. Mama Obianuju screamed. My daughter is gone. She cried and shouted, You caused this, pointing at Baba Amara. You never let her rest. Shut up, he snapped. Don't blame me after raising a useless child. This is what bad upbringing looks like. Running away. That evening, Obianuju appeared at Coach Ben's mansion. Amara froze. What are you doing here? Please, Obianuju cried, kneeling. I know I hurt you. Forgive me. I can't stay in the village. I have no future there. Please let me stay with you. I'm your sister. Amara sighed. You can't stay here. This is not my house. Please don't get me into trouble. Just then her phone rang. Mama Obianuju's voice came through, desperate. Is your sister with you? She asked. Amara frowned. Yes, she's here. Mama Obianuju began pleading. Let her stay with you, please. She has nowhere to go. Reluctantly, Amara spoke to Coach Ben, who, after a long pause, agreed to let Obianuju stay. Later, Amara called her father. Obianuju came to the city. Baba Amara was furious. She did what? After all the nonsense. Well, send her back immediately. Soon, a quarrel broke out between him and Mama Obianuju, each blaming the other for their daughter's rebellion. Meanwhile, inside Coach Ben's house, Amara stood beside her sister in silence, wondering if things would ever truly be the same again. Obianuju couldn't believe her eyes. The mansion shimmered under the city lights, its polished floors, glass windows, and lush gardens like a dream. This is the life I deserve, she whispered with awe, eyes wide as she soaked in the scent of luxury. The buffet alone looked like royalty had ordered it, and every room sparkled with wealth. Whatever it takes to be rich. Count me in, she vowed, her smile masking a storm of ambition brewing inside her. But far away in the village, her mother, Mama Obianuju, jolted from a terrifying nightmare. She had seen a woman, bald-headed, fingernails ripped off, eyes glowing with fury. Give me my hair, and my fingers, the spirit demanded. Mama Obianuju shot up, drenched in sweat, heart pounding like a drum. Baba Amara stirred beside her. What is it? He asked groggily. A bad dream, she lied, too afraid to tell the truth, that the woman was no stranger. It was Chika. Back at the mansion, life moved quickly. Everyone had a purpose. Amara, Ibuka, and Luke were already dressed in their sportswear and jogging off to training. Obianuju stood useless at the corner, arms folded, watching. "Let me come with you," she said, faking a yawn. But training wasn't her goal, attention was. She giggled at the boys, complimenting Luke's haircut and Ibuka's shoes, her gaze lingering too long. The boys didn't miss it. Amara was focused, disciplined. Obianuju, a lazy distraction. Ibuka, now full of pride and admiration, didn't waste time showing off. Whether on the pitch or at the dinner table, he made sure everyone knew he was the rising star. Obianuju, noticing Luke wasn't easy to charm, decided to switch tactics. She eyed Ibuka now, not because she liked him, but because he was her ticket to status and possibly wealth. Another night, another nightmare. Mama Obianuju screamed again. This time, the ghost's face was unmistakable. "Chika." Her voice roared. "Give me my hair and my nails." The ghost grabbed her by the scalp and shoved her to the ground. Mama Obianuju woke up sore, with burning headaches and pain all over her body. But she didn't say a word. She couldn't. The guilt sat heavily on her chest. Meanwhile, Obianuju and Ibuka had become inseparable. Always spotted at the beach, the club, the mall. Ibuka saw her as fun, nothing more. But Obianuju wasn't playing. She was hunting. One early morning, Amara caught her sneaking out of Ibuka's room. "Do you have no shame?" Amara whispered, her voice trembling. "You're disgracing our father's name." Obianuju didn't answer. She walked past head high. Furious, Amara stormed to Ibuka. "She'll destroy you," she warned. "She's not who you think she is." But Ibuka wouldn't listen. He was soaring, about to become a global football star. He thought Amara was just jealous. He didn't see the fire Obianuju had lit inside him, how it now burned with pride, entitlement and suspicion. Back in the village, Mama Obianuju was falling apart. Her body ached daily. And then it began. Hair sprouting in unnatural places, fingers lengthening like claws. Baba Amara asked questions, but she only shook her head. "I don't know," she whispered, hiding her shame. Back at the mansion, Obianuju twisted Ibuka further. "What if Mr. Ben never chooses you?" she whispered. "What if he's just using you to make money? Can't you see? He takes Luke everywhere. Meetings, events, parties. Not you." Her words dripped like poison. And it began to work. Coach Ben, unaware of the chaos, was on a call with an international club manager. "Luke has been with me for years and he's brilliant," he said. "But Ibuka, he plays with fire. Let's give the boy a shot." A decision that would change everything. Amara, on the other hand, was flying high. Best on her team, unstoppable on the court. Mr. Ben had signed her to an international club. Papers were being prepared. The entire mansion buzzed with the news, except Obianuju. She burned. "Can't you see?" she hissed at Ibuka. "Now Amara has endorsements. What about you? You think you'll be chosen next? What if you're just a backup plan?" Ibuka's chest tightened. "It's better to help yourself," Obianuju continued, her voice low, tempting. "Take your own share of the money. Let's disappear, to somewhere you'll be celebrated." Ibuka looked at her. And the seed of betrayal began to sprout. Ibuka had initially shouted at Obianuju when she whispered the devilish idea to him. But later that night, something shifted in him. Maybe it was the pressure of always being in Amara's shadow, or the hunger for quick success. When Coach Ben returned home with a large sum of money meant to support the academy, Ibuka's envy overpowered his sense of right. That same night, under the cover of darkness, he stole the money and fled with Obianuju. In the city, Ibuka expected to start a new life. Maybe a football club, maybe endorsements. But Obianuju had other plans. She spent lavishly. Shopping, clubbing, throwing parties. Instead of investing, She seduced Ibuka into lounging in expensive hotels, drinking and wasting the stolen future. Soon the money was gone, and so was his dream. Back in the village, terror gripped Papa Amara's house. Mama Obianuju began to grow thick black hair all over her body. Her nails curved and sharpened like claws. Her eyes darkened, and she started hissing in her sleep. Villagers gathered but were too afraid to touch her. An old seer among them stepped forward and asked, "What abomination have you done that calls the wrath of the spirits upon you?" Trembling, half-conscious and tormented, Mama Obianuju confessed before everyone. She had secretly taken strands of Chika's hair and nail clippings to a native doctor, seeking to cast a spell on Chika so that Obina will hate her and cancel the wedding. Chika, heartbroken and publicly humiliated, withered in silence until grief took her last breath. Gasps filled the compound. Baba Amara screamed in agony. As the truth landed like thunder, Mama Obianuju let out a final shriek, twisted in pain and dropped dead. Her body was carried to the evil forest, where the wicked are buried in disgrace. Meanwhile, Mr. Ben had tracked Ibuka and Obianuju to the city. Police raided their hotel and arrested them both. The once promising footballer and his cunning accomplice were paraded in handcuffs, their dreams gone up in smoke. Mr. Ben gave the academy contract to Luke, a humble player who had remained loyal. Papa Amara later joined Amara in the city. With Coach Ben's help, his papers were processed, and both father and daughter moved to Australia. One bright morning they sat in Amara's luxurious apartment, laughing over spicy jollof rice and old memories, when her phone rang. It was Luke. He was now in Qatar, shining on the international stage. Ibuka, from behind bars, wept bitterly. He had the talent but lacked the character. Worst of all, he trusted the wrong person. Obianuju, his downfall, sat helplessly in a separate prison cell, both of them forgotten by time. His dreams rotted in chains. Mama Obianuju's tale became a whisper among the elders, a warning that evil plotted in secret will always find its way to the surface. The seed you plant in darkness will bloom in the daylight, whether sweet or sour. As for Amara, her eyes sparkled with grace. She looked at her long legs, once the reason she was mocked and bullied, and whispered, "Even the stick that is despised today can hold a crown tomorrow." She kissed her knees and smiled. Moral lessons. What you plant in secret grows in the open. Evil intentions, no matter how well hidden, always bear bitter fruit. Beauty lies in purpose. What was once mocked in Amara became her blessing. Her long legs gave her a career and destiny. Bad friends are silent destroyers. Like leeches, they drain strength, opportunity, and vision. Talent is not enough. Character and wisdom sustain the gift. Let no one define you. Amara was once rejected, but her uniqueness became her greatness.